We're talking this morning with Stacy DeCicco, Executive Director of the United Way Alliance of the Mid-Ohio Valley. We at the ARC of the Mid-Ohio Valley are fortunate to be working on a collaborative with the United Way, SW Resources, and Wood County Society to support people with disabilities. We're grateful for the spirit and generosity of the United Way. And thanks for being here, Stacy.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be able to join you guys this morning.
Stacy, we know you're keeping busy at the United Way responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Can you share with us some of the ways that our United Way is helping in the community?
Sure, absolutely. We felt the crisis bearing down on us several weeks ago, and our entire team had to kind of shift out of what we normally do, and we have shifted into completely a COVID-19 response team. The biggest thing that we're leading with right now is our 2-on-1 program. It's always a vibrant program and always a great resource in the community, but man, it is truly exponential right now, what it is able to do and what it is doing. Call volume, and that includes calls, text, chats, that engagement volume is up over 60% just in the last 3 weeks. Our team is truly, we always work to make sure that those resources are updated, and it's kind of on a 6-month update rotation schedule, and then an as needed in between that. But right now, our team is systematically calling every agency that is delivering critical services across the 15-county region. They're making contact about every 3 days to see if there's been a modification in hours, if there's a change in service, if there's a difference in service delivery. So we want to make sure that when folks dial into 211 and they're looking for a community resource in the midst of this crisis, that we really are giving them up-to-the-minute, real-time information and resources. So that's consuming a tremendous amount of our time. Our team is working completely by remote now, but you would never know that because when you dial 211, you're getting those same resource specialists and calls are being fielded. Another thing that we're doing a lot of right now is just working to do, again, it's what we always do. It's just doing it exponentially at a really high level right now, and that's being a conduit, kind of just like the project that Liz referenced. Because we do house the 211 system and we are really aware and have a finger on the pulse of service gaps and needs that are unmet right now in the midst of the situation, we're able to kind of look around and think about where are the resources, where are the partners, where are those strong forces already in place, and how could we be the conduit to bring people together to make sure that what they're doing, we're maximizing effort, we're delivering with best efficiency. And that's what happened with the collaborative project that Liz referenced. We saw a need, and everyone was recognizing that need, and we thought, well, instead of everybody working in an individual lane, what if we could just pull everyone together? And we did it, and it was with amazing speed that everybody just came together and said, let's make this happen, let's deliver at the best level. So we're doing a tremendous amount of unconventional collaboration right now. We're spending a lot of time thinking about where the needs are. Sometimes they're really simple needs. It's not always that someone needs a giant check. It is very simple needs. We're in Wood County, for example, we're down to 2 child care centers that are operating with the essential services license. They're open and can only serve dependents of essential workers. And one of those is the YMCA. And so just a couple of weeks ago, they realized that they had a need that was not going to be easy to meet. They needed some basic supplies, and one of those was rubbing alcohol. We don't think about it, but when you're doing temp checks as people arrive and on the hour and all the things to maintain that essential license, something that we would take for granted, just running out to our local dollar store and grabbing, it's not an opportunity right now. So they reached out. We had a team member who spent a greater part of the afternoon trying to source that in many places, online, regional vendors, and we came up with nothing. And so then we had to kind of shift to unconventional mode, and one of our AmeriCorps members had a great idea. She said, what about the schools? So we reached out to our great partner, Julie Bertram, who's Director of Health Services in Wood County, and we said, hey, we need 2 bottles of rubbing alcohol. How can you help us? And Julie said, I can help you. So it was a great example of we have some closed doors in the community. We have things that have had to be shut down, and sometimes we've shut those doors and shuttered really valuable resources behind those doors. Things that didn't hold high value to us 6 months ago are really valuable right now. So Julie actually went in, and we were able to repurpose some of those supplies and make sure that the Y could continue having what they needed to ensure that they were meeting those needs. So we are spending a lot of time in creative thought and trying to figure out where there are some resources and how we could repurpose those and realign some partnerships to make sure that we're delivering what the community needs during this really unique time and space.
Well, we really appreciate it. The work you and your crew and the community in collaboration are doing is impressive. One of the questions that Doug and I wanted to know is how can people in the community support the United Way as they meet the needs of their friends and neighbors?
Sure. We were very fortunate with a very generous donor 3 weeks ago, right at the onset, kind of the pinnacle of the crisis. We were able to open the COVID-19 Mid-Ohio Valley Response and Recovery Fund. So it is an impact fund at United Way that is unique and specific to local needs across the Mid-Ohio Valley and needs as we respond to the COVID-19 crisis. So if folks are interested in donating to that, you can jump on our website and get all that information. There's even a really simple way to do that from your phone, and all those directions are on the website. You can always get up-to-date information by hopping on our Facebook page. That is the most real-time information that's coming out during this space. So you can find us at the United Way Alliance of the Mid-Ohio Valley. Another great way to get information, and it is being updated multiple times a week, is through our website, and it's uwamov.com. That's United Way Alliance, MidOhioValley.com. And there actually is a special section created on that website right now that is strictly for COVID-19 resources. So that's a great place to go, too. But the website will connect you to all of our email addresses. You can always get on our Facebook page. Like I said, that's getting updated multiple times during the day, and you can always message us through that as well.
Very good. We appreciate that, and we'll share that on the screen as well.
Thank you. We're actually going to be rolling something out that's new. One of the gaps that we know exists is a lot of our residential programs, whether it is a recovery center or, a domestic violence center. But some of our programs rely so heavily in the community on civic groups and churches doing drives, whether those drives are diaper drives or hygiene items. And so right now with so many churches, that's all on pause and people aren't meeting in groups and civic groups aren't meeting. We felt that was a great need rising. So something we're going to announce is the opening of virtual donation drives through United Way. So that's another way that people can get involved. To give directly to our impact fund, or you'll be able to go on and look at our virtual donation drives. And so maybe you just want to sponsor a hygiene kit and you want to give $10. There is no dollar amount that doesn't make tremendous impact. We want to make sure that we're keeping people safe. We want to honor the no contact requests and the distancing. And so what you'll be able to do is just go on and give a gift, whether it's a hygiene kit. We have so many organizations that are delivering grab-and-go meals at this time, and it's amazing, and we're so glad we're able to do that for the populations that need that. But all of a sudden, purchasing those to-go containers is very expensive, and that's an out-of-budget cost. So that's something else that we're giving support to through these virtual donation drives. So Liz, you'll be able to just go on and pop on and make a $10 gift, and you don't have to go to the store, and the agency doesn't have to come anywhere to pick it up. We're going to be purchasing those items once a week through the donation drives and shipping them directly out to the organization. So we'll be able to ship hygiene items right out to the domestic violence shelters. So no one's coming out to get those items. Nobody's concerned about the donations and drives not coming in. So that's a couple of easy ways. You could give to our impact fund. You can definitely get involved with the virtual donation drives. We're hoping that maybe some of those civic groups and congregations will decide to support those, and that's a way for them to stay connected and still be impactful and be at a safe distance. And the other way is just reaching out to us. You can grab our emails on the website. You can call our office. That's still ringing right to us. Sometimes people are calling us and saying, hey, I have a fleet of rental cars. We had a call last week. Does anybody need assistance in delivering food? Penske's been a great partner for us, and they've parked a truck actually in my home driveway that we've been warehousing donations and sorting and created a no-contact pickup system for our agencies. We've had so many people just reach out and say, I feel like I want to help and I don't know where to plug in. Sometimes we have an immediate match for them, and sometimes we're just grabbing their information and kind of the resource they bring to the table. And as needs pop up and things emerge, we're circling back to those folks. Right now, we're not afraid to ask anybody to do anything unconventional to help the big picture. So it's been great to just accumulate that list of people who were willing and really desiring to make a difference. Really often already we're circling back to them and saying, yeah, what you offered really could be helpful. Could you do this for us?
The next question I have is, we've been seeing a great new hashtag, ThankfulWV. What does that hashtag mean to you?
We're really excited. That launched yesterday, and that's a kind of a collaborative initiative with all of the United Ways around the state of West Virginia. And we just wanted to create a space where we were talking about some of the wonderful things that are happening amidst this crisis and this really dark and uncertain time. Sometimes it does really bring out the best in people. And there are so many partners that are, like I said, just doing unconventional things and helping us and helping organizations all around our state to be able to step well during this time and to step strongly. So sometimes we noticed that, particularly our Facebook page, we were sharing resources and up-to-date information, and we know that's so critical right now. But we decided last week that we just wanted to take a pause somewhere in the space and be thankful and be present in the moment of the people that are making a difference. So for me, it's been a great way, and I think it's going to continue to be a great way to recenter on some of those positive pieces. For example, the collaborative that you were referencing with SW Resources and with County Society, I'm so thankful for strong partnerships that were already in place, that we could call on those relationships in the time of crisis and make strong steps. We shared on our Facebook page late last night about being thankful for Ethos Leadership as a partner. We're so thankful for the work that we were already doing with them because it gave us a place and a person to turn to in the crisis. So we're hoping that it's contagious. We hope that other people will join the Thankful West Virginia and just use that as a space and a hashtag to recognize some of the people that are really doing great work right now and are making a difference right in the middle of the crisis.
One thing that we're asking every day is, because after a while this kind of drags on and working every day, and especially the extra work that you and your staff has been doing, what are you doing to keep your stress level lowered? Some people sing or crank their music up or clean their house or work on that hobby they've promised they were going to do and then never did. What are you doing to keep your stress level down during all of this?
That's funny, Doug. As a team, we're talking about that a lot. You know, in the nonprofit world, we talk a lot about self-care, and we try to remind ourselves to do those things. And it seems like in this kind of the mode that we're all in, it would be really, really easy to push that away and say, well, there's no space for that, no time for that right now. But we're encouraging each other on a team to actually make more time for that. We think it's really important. So in normal times, we have an organizational wellness that's led by someone in our office, and we gather together once a week and do 15 minutes of mindfulness or sometimes a fun creative art time together for 15 minutes. And so Delaney is actually still doing that for our office. Last week, she recorded a mindfulness session in her voice and sent out the audio clip to all of us to do in our own space. And we kind of chuckled about it. And then after I did it, I played the clip, I realized I really needed that in this space. So we're working as a team to create more time for some wellness activities. As an individual, I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing that as well. I'm definitely cleaning more. I think the whole crisis triggers that in me. So I'm cleaning more. I'm trying to be really mindful of maintaining some kind of parameter to my work hours since I am working from home. I'm trying to make sure that I stop every day and walk the next room into the kitchen and have lunch. And if my family's having lunch at the same time, I mean, that seems to be really important to me. I'm trying to make sure that I have an end time every day. Our work is going into the evening and sometimes late at night, but I'm trying to make sure that I step away and then intentionally step back for a 30-minute block here or, you know, and I say to my family, look, I need to go back in the office for an hour. And then when I come back, let's X, Y, Z. We're playing a lot of Monopoly. Both of my young adult children are back staying with us right now. They're both furloughed from positions in Pittsburgh. So it's a bit of a blessing to have everybody back under one roof. But we are doing some crazy things like playing Monopoly that we probably have not done as a family for 15 years. But I'm just being really intentional, and I'm trying to be more mindful than I think I am in normal space. I'm trying to be really intentional to maintain just good mental balance for myself. It's overwhelming some days. I have my days where I think I'm going to crack, and I have to just close the laptop and walk outside and cuddle my dogs or whatever it takes to recenter. So I think what you said is really important. This isn't going away quickly. We have a long way to go on this. And our folks in the nonprofit ecosystem are so critical to walking our community through this well and keeping our community strong on the other side of it. So we're trying to lead by example. I'm trying to lead my team by example, and we're encouraging everybody to, eat the brownie, take the walk, snuggle the dog, play the Monopoly, whatever it takes. I think self-care has never been more important than it is right now for everyone.
And the last question we have, Stacy, is just a wrap-up for you. Is there anything that we didn't ask that you would like to share?
I guess the other thing just to share is that I want folks to know that our United Way is here for them more than ever. We are more accessible. I mean, I think we're highly successful. We're always here for the community. But at this time, there's nothing that you can't come to us with that we will not try to help find a solution to. I know I've said the word unconventional a dozen times, but I don't know that there's a better word and description for us than being an unconventional conduit right now. So we have people who are not United Way funded partners who are reaching out. We want that. We are giving support and funds to people who are not United Way partners. We're looking for the difference makers in the community, and that's who we're trying to bolster, and that's who we want to strengthen. So We don't have strict alliances of you're in the United Way group, you're not in the United Way group. Again, we're just looking for difference makers, and we want people to know that we're accessible. So we're spending a lot of time on state calls with VOAD and threat preparedness groups and speaking with municipal groups. And we just don't see any boundaries right now to our work or our purpose. Our purpose is keeping this community strong and helping it step well through such an unknown time. So we want people to know there's nothing that you could not come to us with right now that we wouldn't take on our plate and try to find an answer to. We're certainly not waving a magic wand, or we don't have all the answers, but we are an excellent conduit, and we are not afraid to create unconventional alignments right now for a greater good. So we just want people to know that we're here, and we want people to know that United Way First is a real thing, and we are a phenomenal reach right now.
One last thing before we close. This was recorded on Tuesday, April the 7th, and so when Stacy says things like last night, she means Monday night the 6th, or this afternoon, or debuting soon, or coming up. She means Tuesday afternoon when this was recorded, even though this is actually now playing on Wednesday morning, April the 8th. So I just want to make sure the time reference, because the online giving button is actually on there now.
Stacy DeCicco is Executive Director of the United Way Alliance of the Mid-Ohio Valley. We appreciate all the work that your organization does year-round, and especially right now. And it just shows that, for a while the slogan was Live United. You and your staff are certainly helping bring people together and making that a reality. It's not just a cool slogan to put on shirts and on the website and on Facebook. You're really helping everyone in the area through this Live United, and we appreciate that very much, and we appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and I love what you guys are doing, so keep it up. It's fantastic.
Thank you.